In the beginning of time, long before the earth as we know it took shape, there existed a mystical realm beneath the surface of the world, a place where all things originated. This realm was called the Underworld, a place of darkness, mystery, and divine power. It was within this vast, hidden world that Kintu, the first man, was born. He was a being of curiosity and immense courage, unlike any other soul that had ever existed before. While others accepted the gloom of the underworld, Kintu's heart yearned for the light. He longed to see the sun and touch the earth that he had only heard stories of. One day, while walking along the banks of a shimmering river in the underworld, Kintu heard a voice from the heavens above. It was the voice of the supreme god, Katanda, who looked down upon him with great wisdom. "Kintu, you are my chosen one," the voice boomed. "It is time for you to leave the underworld and journey to the surface of the earth, where you will shape the world and create the first of humankind." Kintu was overwhelmed with awe and gratitude. This was a great honor, one that came with both power and responsibility. With no hesitation, he accepted the divine task. Before he left, the gods bestowed upon him a single cow, a simple yet powerful gift. The cow, they said, would help him in his quest to shape the earth. Along with the cow, Kintu was also given a piece of sacred knowledge. He was told in the world above he would encounter Nambi, a beautiful and wise woman who would become his guide. Together, they would lay the foundations of all life. With his heart full of anticipation and excitement, Kintu began his journey. The passage to the surface was long and difficult. As he climbed through the dark, narrow tunnels, he encountered many challenges. The air grew warmer, and walls began to hum with energy as he neared the surface. After what seemed like an eternity, Kintu emerged from the darkness, and there it was, the vast, untamed world above. He stood, staring in awe at the endless sky, the land stretching out in all directions before him. For the first time, he felt the warmth of the sun upon his skin, a feeling like no other. But though the world was beautiful, it was barren, lifeless. The land was still empty, waiting to be shaped, waiting for Kintu to fulfill his divine purpose. It was there, beside a river, that Kintu met Nambi. She was everything the gods had described, graceful, radiant, and powerful. Nambi was no mere mortal. She was a daughter of Katanda, sent to assist Kintu in his divine mission. With her, Kintu could bring life to this desolate world. Nambi led Kintu to the place where they would begin their work, the heart of the land that would one day become the Kingdom of Uganda. She spoke to him of the deep connection between humans, nature, and the divine. Together, they would create a balanced world where life could thrive, but would require patience, wisdom, and respect for the natural forces at play. The first thing they did was create the rivers, carving them into the land so that water could flow and nourish the earth. They made the trees sprout from the soil, their roots deep in the ground, reaching toward the sky. As they worked, the land began to transform. Kintu planted seeds of all kinds, plants, animals, and even humans. He and Nambi, guided by the will of the gods, used the divine power within them to shape the earth, each tree, river, and creature growing under their care. The cow that Kintu had brought with him, once just a simple gift, became a symbol of fertility and sustenance. The cow's milk nourished the people, and its strength allowed them to grow crops and feed the kingdom. Soon, the land was alive, vibrant, and teeming with life. The animals roamed freely, and the crops grew tall, ready to be harvested. Kintu and Nambi watched with satisfaction as the world they had created came to life before their eyes. The sky above them sparkled with divine approval, and the earth now had its first taste of what it meant to be truly alive. However, despite all the beauty and wonder they had brought into existence, the balance of the world was soon threatened. Walumbe, the mischievous and vengeful spirit of the Underworld, grew jealous of Kintu's success. Walumbe, whose realm was filled with death and decay, sought to destroy the life Kintu had so carefully created. He believed that if Kintu could create life, then he too had the power to destroy it. One night, under the cover of darkness, Walumbe brought his wrath upon the land. A plague of disease swept across the kingdom. The once lush fields withered and died. The rivers turned muddy and foul, and the animals began to fall ill. The people of the land cried out in despair, unsure of how to fight the invisible forces that threatened them. Kintu, heartbroken by the suffering of his people, called upon the gods for guidance. He knew that his people could not survive much longer in this state, and he feared that Walumbe's wrath would destroy all that they had worked so hard to build. The voice of Katanda, wise and compassionate, came to Kintu once more. "Kintu," the god said, "your heart is strong and your spirit is true, but to overcome Walumbe, you must make a great sacrifice. It is only through the act of true sacrifice that the darkness of Walumbe will be dispelled." Kintu understood the gravity of this divine message. To save his people, he had to give up something of great value. After deep reflection, Kintu and Nambi decided that the cow, symbol of their journey and the sustenance of their people, must be sacrificed. Though it pained them to part with it, they knew it was the only way to restore balance to the world. The sacrifice of the cow was a solemn and sacred ceremony. Kintu and Nambi led the people in a great ritual, offering the cow to the gods as a token of their love, respect, and devotion. As the ceremony came to a close, the heavens seemed to respond. The wind shifted, the clouds parted, and the rains began to fall, washing away the suffering that had gripped the land. The earth grew fertile once more, and the animals returned to their fields. Walumbe, seeing that Kintu's sacrifice was pure and sincere, retreated back into the underworld, his evil influence now gone from the world. With the land restored and the kingdom flourishing again, Kintu's people rejoiced. They praised Kintu for his strength and wisdom, for his willingness to give up what he loved most in order to save the kingdom. The people of Uganda, under Kintu's guidance, continued to thrive. They built great cities, planted lush crops, and lived in harmony with the land. The lessons of Kintu's journey, the importance of sacrifice, patience, and respect for nature, were passed down from one generation to the next. Kintu's rule was a time of prosperity, peace, and unity. As he grew older, he passed his wisdom to his children and to the leaders of neighboring lands, ensuring that the kingdom of Uganda would continue to prosper long after his time. He taught them that leadership was not about power or dominion, but about service, humility, and a deep, abiding love for the earth and its people. When Kintu finally passed away, his spirit ascended to the heavens, joining the gods from whom he had received his guidance. But his legacy lived on in the people he had led, the kingdom he had founded, and the lessons he had imparted. The kingdom of Uganda continued to honor his memory, and his name was spoken with reverence in every home. Generations came and went, but the story of Kintu, the first man, the creator of the kingdom and the protector of life, was never forgotten. His teachings continued to inspire and guide the people of Uganda, reminding them of their connection to the divine and to the land. Kintu's story became a legend passed down through the ages, a story of creation, sacrifice, and the eternal bond between humanity and the gods. And so, to this very day, Kintu's name is spoken with honor in the land of Uganda. His journey from the underworld to the earth, his trials and triumphs, and his undying love for his people live on, eternally woven into the fabric of the kingdom he built. His story continues to inspire, as the people began to remember that the earth they walk upon is not just theirs to use, but theirs to protect, nurture, and cherish, for it is the gift of the gods and the legacy of Kintu, the first man.